A New Hope, Nier Chapter 107 Fan Fiction by Azazyel. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel for listening and patreon.com/Azazyel to read all of Azazyel's stories. For a moment I battled against my desire to just let Cinder fall and her group into the sun before I smiled and turned to Cinder and looked at my teammates speaking. I am going to go talk to some neighboring teams' leaders to get an idea of how they lead in other schools compared to Ozpin's laid-back choice of letting me and others do whatever we want, I said wryly as Blake in response to my words brought up her large book to cover her face as she was infamous in Beacon and outside of it for giving up on controlling young Xiao-Long and Nora Valkyrie. Oh okay, Jake, have fun and see if you can find out what kind of weapons they use. Ruby called out as the other girls waved me off, and my smile as I entered the structure of the stadium and walked toward Cinder died as I began speaking to Commander White through the comms piece in my ear. Have 2B, E6, and A2 converge on my position, I ordered, and in not even a minute the three female androids walked behind me as we made our way to Cinder's position and I whispered into my comms. I am unsure if Emerald Semblance can work on you girls, so be careful, I advised them. Then from around the corner as we continued to walk through the participants' level that looped around the whole stadium's lower section, there was the wicked trio of women themselves waiting for us. Don't worry about people interrupting us. We already set safety cones and gates behind both of us so people won't come here for the next 10 minutes at least. Cinder spoke confidently as she folded her arms under her large breasts, lifting them up, but I was more focused on her amber eyes that I'd meet as some kind of prey. Honestly, the sight amused me more than anything as she was literally heavily outgunned with my girls having their optically cloaked pods silently flying behind them, so it wouldn't be a 4-against-3 fight. No, it would be closer to 7 with how the Yoarha pods could shoot magical missiles and energy beams that could easily kill Grim. So, token villainess, I am curious about why you came out of hiding when my passive existence has ruined your grand plans. I said, honestly curious, as Yora's existence had snuffed out the white fang that came to Vale when they stupidly decided that raiding the Bullhead factory that doubled as the Yoarha military manufacturing plant was a smart idea. Like seriously, who in their right mind would break in and try to steal gunpowder from the equivalent of a gun factory? That's just begging to be shot and labeled as attempting elaborate suicide, for fuck's sake. And with the white fang's destruction, Cinder was never able to do her whole train filled with explosives being rammed into the walls of Vale to let Grim in to cause havoc. To say nothing of how Yoarha was also perfectly ready to meet Cinder in electronic warfare should she decide to take over the Atlas warships and other things. At my question, Cinder only snickered, with her hand rising to elegantly place itself against her face to hide her face from her own amusement that she was feeling. And who says I haven't won already? Jake Barris, the owner of the enigmatic Oracle Company. A lot of people want to know your identity, and a good number of them want you dead so they can take your company apart piecemeal for their own ambitions. She spoke smiling, and I knew she wasn't actually threatening me with that info. For her, if she wanted to use that as blackmail, she would plainly say it, or likewise, throw the info out into the winds to attempt to hurt me. Not that some jumped-up assassins likely could kill me with my magic and aura preventing me from dying from an alpha strike, but why take the chance? Before my faction's intelligence agent committed suicide, he did infiltrate Ozpin servers, and there was a file about you and your status as someone from another world. Cinder continued to speak, and my eyes twitched at Ozpin being a dumbass and putting that down in his servers for whatever reason. I am curious about other worlds, Cinder said charismatically as she raised her hands as though she was embracing the knowledge I could offer. And why should I tell you anything, or better yet, why shouldn't I just kill you here and now and be done with it? I replied coldly as Virtus Contract flashed into my hands and stabbed into the concrete ground, with my android's own weapons flashing into their hands with Emerald and Neopolitan tensing. But Cinder only grinned as she looked at me confidently. No Jake. I know you don't want to kill me, as you yourself have ambitions that match mine, as Ozpin had your whole conversation with him recorded. A young man going to other worlds, gathering power and resources with an army behind his back. Of course, you need a queen and someone to help you manage things, she said proudly, and I knew she was putting herself as this supposed queen, but I scoffed at the thought of trusting Cinder Fall with just doing the dishes. Knowing her, she would leave soap on the dishes and laugh at me when my food tastes like soap. Look Jake, I know you want power as you came to this world without aura, with magic already at your fingertips, and I want that as well. But if you won't accept me and Emerald into your services, then I will have no choice but to tell my mistress Salem about you, a magic user of great power that she could use to possibly accomplish her dreams. Cinder said, bringing out her leverage, and I snorted before breaking out into mad laughter. Salem. The great queen of the Grim will capture and hurt me for some kind of nebulous dream. Don't make me die of laughter, haha. I choked on my laughter with Cinder and Emerald looking at me in complete confusion while Neo just blinked before smiling lightly and winking at me for putting Cinder on the back foot probably. Ha ha ha. I continued to chuckle before I managed to hold it and speak. I literally play League of Legends with Mommy Salami, and if she will send nudes to me after I demand repayment after she goes 0 and 12 with 2 assists as Yumi in a ranked game, then I think she will let me do whatever I want. At words of Salem's internet degeneracy, Cinder's face twisted as her mouth opened and shut in complete mental denial over my words. Then my own face twisted as Neo used her semblance to make an illusionary cardboard plaque she held up saying, "I play AD, Sona wanna duo?" Of course, the mute troll plays the mute character but clearly in a trolling manner. Only for feet pics when you take Sona's form in your illusions, I answered seriously, and Neo giggled silently holding her chest at how I utterly ruined the atmosphere. Looking back to Cinder, I scratched the back of my head before shrugging as I mentally said fuck it. You were right in I needed a bit of a right hand. And you actually need a new right hand due to that grim arm eating your soul slowly, but anyway I have 2 options for you, Cinder Fall. You can slowly work as my right hand in the dirty aspects of becoming powerful in worlds untold with power being given to you. Or. I smiled wryly as I spoke. Or I kill you, Cinder Fall, right here and now for being an issue, as I am sure the cameras have seen you at some point and I have no doubt you have made plans to make me look like an enemy for speaking to you. At my heavy-handed ultimatum, Cinder only chuckled as she looked behind her at her subordinate before she looked back at me. Not that I particularly care, but what is to happen with my subordinates in either choice? After she asked that, White whispered to me that Cinder made a hand signal of some kind that made the frowning Emerald relax, but either way I spoke coolly. Emerald is a package deal due to how gaslit she is in following you. Neopolition is a criminal of. Yeah, I honestly don't give a damn about her, and although I would love to recruit her as she is manageable, you are too proud, intelligent, and ambitious to have a leash put around you, especially if I give you more power. I said bluntly, and Cinder shrugged as she smiled wryly. And what is this leash to entail, out of curiosity? She asked curiously, though I could tell she didn't care about the so-called leash so long as it wasn't too inconvenient. I will have nanobombs lanced into your bloodline so your body will naturally reproduce them, and the stronger your body in either strength or even magic, the more powerful the bombs become. That will explode should I die, lose my limbs, be put into a coma, or be sealed away, I listed with Cinder's face twitching at the list of ways she couldn't fuck me over. The best part of these bombs was how I wasn't even really bullshitting. Pods themselves grew in power with the more magical energy or masso they accumulated, and although nanobombs were going to be shit at that aspect, it still would be enough to fuck up someone if the equivalent of a firecracker of an explosive goes off in their heart and brain.